Ghost Hunters was the show that made everyone think twice before walking down a dark hallway. It turned its cast into stars among fans who loved the supernatural. This team made ghost hunting famous worldwide, from Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson to Steve Gonsalves and Amy Bruni. But what happened when the cameras stopped rolling? Where are they now? In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the original cast, how they began, what they've been up to, and where life has taken them since the show. The mystery that haunted our screens. When Ghost Hunters first hit TV screens in October 2004, it immediately stood out from every other paranormal show out there. Sure, ghost shows already existed, but this one felt real. Instead of relying on fake scares, shaky cameras, and over-the-top drama, it focused on real people doing real investigations. At the heart of the show were Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson, two plumbers from Roto-Rooter by day and ghost hunters by night. Together, they founded the Atlantic Paranormal Society, better known as TAPS, a team dedicated to finding the truth behind ghost stories. Using special equipment to detect temperature changes, electromagnetic fields, and mysterious sounds, they explored haunted houses, abandoned asylums, and old prisons across the country. From the very first episode, viewers noticed something different. While other shows turned every noise into proof of a haunting, Jason and Grant searched for logical explanations: a draft, bad wiring, or creaky pipes. Instead of running away screaming, they calmly stood their ground, investigating every claim like detectives. That honesty made the show believable and built a huge level of trust with the audience. By the end of the first season, Ghost Hunters became a sensation. People were hooked on its mix of science, suspense, and sincerity. What began as a small 10-episode experiment quickly grew into a massive success. Ratings shot up, merchandise hit stores, and new investigators joined the team. Fans loved members like Steve Gonsalves and Dave Tango, who became known for their calm, level-headed style during investigations. The show's popularity led to spin-offs, including Ghost Hunters International, where the crew explored haunted locations around the world, from Ireland to the UK to Canada. Another spin-off, Ghost Hunters Academy, followed recruits being trained by TAPS veterans like Steve and Dave. Every Halloween from 2005 to 2011, the team even went live for special investigations featuring celebrity guests and fan interaction. At its peak, Ghost Hunters wasn't just a TV show, it was a movement. TAPS became a household name, representing truth, logic, and professionalism in the world of the paranormal. Over 11 seasons and more than 200 episodes, the team became the gold standard for ghost hunting television. But as fame grew, so did the challenges. With more seasons, more pressure, and changing network expectations, the show slowly shifted from a small, honest operation into a much bigger production. Fame brought both opportunities and controversies, testing the team's unity and their original mission. Still, what fans loved most never changed: the authenticity. Jason, Grant, and the TAPS team never jumped to conclusions. They didn't call every shadow a ghost. If a strange light turned out to be a reflection, they said so. If a creepy sound was just a branch hitting the wall, they explained it. That honesty made their rare moments of real evidence even more powerful because the audience knew the team had ruled out every other explanation first. Each investigation followed a careful process. The team would start by meeting with property owners to hear their experiences. Then they'd set up equipment, cameras, EMF meters, digital recorders, and temperature sensors in haunted hotspots. They'd stay for hours, recording sound and video, sometimes even asking spirits to respond. After the investigation, they'd spend days reviewing all the data, frame by frame, sound by sound. Then Jason and Grant would sit down with the owners, share what they found, and advise on how to handle any remaining activity. Many times they discovered that what seemed paranormal had a logical explanation, like drafts, plumbing issues, or nearby electrical interference. But every once in a while, they'd capture something truly unexplainable: a voice, a shadow, or a moving object, and that's what kept both them and their fans coming back for more. As the years went on, the show evolved. In later seasons, new investigators joined, and ghost hunters took on a more documentary-style tone, focusing less on behind-the-scenes moments and more on the investigations themselves. The show's realistic style inspired countless other paranormal programs and gave birth to an entire genre of ghost reality TV. By the time the show reached its revival years, Grant Wilson returned with a new team, while Jason Hawes and the original TAPS members made a comeback in the later seasons, carrying on the spirit of what made Ghost Hunters so special in the first place. And even though the original run eventually ended, fans have never stopped wondering what happened to the team that started it all. So, where are the Ghost Hunters now? What have Jason, Grant, Steve, Amy, and the rest of the TAPS crew been up to since their days of chasing shadows in haunted halls? Jason Hawes. Jason Hawes is the man who helped make ghost hunting famous all around the world. He wasn't just another investigator chasing ghosts. He was the calm and logical leader who used science to understand the supernatural. When the original Ghost Hunters ended in 2016, Jason didn't step away from the world of the unknown. Instead, he went even deeper into it. Today, he remains one of the most active and respected ghost hunters in the field. He helped launch Ghost Nation, a show he co-created with his longtime friends and fellow TAPS members, Steve Gonsalves and Dave Tango. The series aired on the Travel Channel and focused on new investigations with a familiar approach, logical, honest, and focused on helping people who live in haunted places. When Ghost Hunters was later revived on Discovery Plus, Jason returned once again as lead investigator and producer, keeping the same mission alive, searching for the truth behind the things we can't explain. But television isn't his only platform. Jason also runs a YouTube channel where he posts videos of new investigations with his teammate JV. He often chats directly with fans during premieres and live question-and-answer sessions, making his viewers part of the experience. He's never left behind his original creation, the Atlantic Paranormal Society, or TAPS. The group he founded with Grant Wilson back in the early 1990s is still active, continuing to explore strange locations and help people understand the unknown. Outside of investigations, Jason keeps busy with other projects. On social media, he shares updates with fans, from behind-the-scenes clips to fundraising efforts for historic and haunted landmarks like the Conjuring House. When he's not chasing spirits, Jason enjoys a quieter life in Rhode Island with his wife and children. But his journey into the paranormal world started long before Ghost Hunters ever aired. Born in Canandaigua, New York, Jason moved to Warwick, Rhode Island as a child. At just 20 years old, he claimed to start sensing strange presences after a girlfriend who practiced Reiki, a form of energy healing, opened his spiritual awareness. This experience led him to create the Rhode Island Paranormal Society in 1990, a small group designed to help people who believed they had paranormal experiences. 2 years later, that small idea evolved into something much bigger: TAPS, the Atlantic Paranormal Society. With Grant Wilson joining soon after, the two friends built what would become one of the most famous ghost hunting teams in the world. Together, they turned their day job as Roto-Rooter plumbers into a side career investigating the supernatural by night, a concept that caught the attention of television producers. Their show, Ghost Hunters, premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel and quickly became one of its biggest hits. It ran for 11 years, spawned multiple spin-offs, and made TAPS a household name among paranormal fans everywhere. Outside of TV, Jason has also proven to be a talented writer. He's written 2 books about the paranormal and 4 sci-fi thriller screenplays. For a time, he and Grant even owned the Spalding Inn in New Hampshire, a famously haunted location they ran together before selling it. Jason also uses his fame for good. Through public ghost hunting events, meet and greets, and conventions, he has raised money for charities like Shriners Hospitals, for children, and cure kids' cancer. Life in the public eye hasn't always been easy. Back in 2005, Jason faced a frightening situation when a man from Pennsylvania began sending him threatening emails, messages that eventually drew the attention of the FBI and Secret Service after the threats included the U.S. president. Fortunately, the suspect was caught and sentenced to federal prison, but it reminded everyone that fame, even in ghost hunting, can have dark sides. Despite it all, Jason never stopped doing what he loves. His calm, scientific approach to investigating the paranormal has made him one of the most respected figures in the field. Whether he's filming a new episode, posting a YouTube investigation, or sharing updates online, Jason Hawes remains a steady presence in the world of ghost hunting. Grant Wilson. When Grant Wilson left Ghost Hunters, the public explanation was simple: he was stepping away for personal reasons. But one unforgettable episode made some fans wonder if there was more to the story. In that scene, Grant was exploring a dark hallway when something unexpected happened. Without warning, his hoodie snapped backward as though unseen hands had grabbed it from behind. For anyone watching, it was shocking. A full-body interaction caught on camera. The crew jumped, Grant stumbled, and for a few seconds, it looked like they had captured undeniable proof of the paranormal. But when viewers watched that same clip again, frame by frame, something didn't feel right. The hood didn't pull backward like a ghost tugging from behind. It moved straight down, collapsing into the coat itself. And Grant's hand? It never left his pocket. Fans began to investigate, just like Taps had taught them. Online speculators slowed the footage, analyzed every frame, and noticed something odd. Grant's body jerked backward unnaturally, as if he might have pulled himself instead of being pulled. Soon, theories began to spread. Some said he could have used a retractable keychain, the type security guards carry, sewn into his jacket and attached to the hood. With one subtle tug, it could create the illusion of an invisible force. The internet exploded. YouTube breakdowns appeared everywhere, showing Grant's movements in slow motion. Paranormal forums are filled with heated discussions. What should have been a groundbreaking ghost encounter quickly turned into the most controversial moment in Ghost Hunters history. Even worse, fans felt betrayed. For years, TAPS, the Atlantic Paranormal Society, had encouraged people to question, to debunk, to seek the truth. But when they used those same methods on the show's own footage, it led them to a painful conclusion: maybe their heroes had staged evidence. The hood pull didn't just create doubt. It cracked the very foundation of trust that had made Ghost Hunters special. And to make things even more uncomfortable, during that same episode, Jason Hawes, Grant's longtime partner and co-founder of TAPS, looked uneasy. While Grant's reaction seemed dramatic, Jason's body language said something else, almost as if he wasn't in on it. But despite the controversy, Grant Wilson didn't disappear from the paranormal world. In fact, he kept doing what he loved, exploring the unknown. Today, Grant continues to work with the Atlantic Paranormal Society, the very team he co-founded. He and his wife Rihanna now travel the world, hosting spiritual and ghost-themed tours. From mysterious castles in Europe to ancient temples in Japan, they bring fans along for real-life supernatural adventures, even planning a supernatural cruise in France for 2026. Grant also shares his experiences on social media, connecting with fans who followed him since the early Ghost Hunters days. Beyond that, he works as a producer on the series What the Fetch, continuing to explore human curiosity and the unknown, just in a different way. And that's not all. Grant is a man of many talents. He's an artist, game developer, and musician. He helped create rather dashing games, which later became part of Kalmbach Publishing. He's written 6 books on the paranormal, released 2 piano albums, and still finds time to spend with his wife and their 3 sons. Grant has always been open about his faith and family life. A devoted member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, he even served a mission in Italy. His creative side shows in everything he does, from designing fantasy artwork to composing heartfelt music. Even after leaving Ghost Hunters in 2012, he returned for the show's 200th episode in 2014 and later rejoined for the A&E reboot. He's faced both praise and criticism, but one thing is certain: he never stopped believing that there's more to this world than what we can see, and he has been all about it. Steve Gonsalves. Steve Gonsalves became one of the most respected investigators in the paranormal world from the Ghost Hunters show. Since he was a kid, Steve was always curious about the unknown and loved mysteries that didn't have easy answers. Some strange experiences he had growing up made him wonder if there was more to the world than what people could see or touch. To find answers, he studied psychology so he could understand how the human mind works, why people feel fear, and how they react to the unexplained. Later, he trained in law enforcement, which taught him how to investigate carefully and think logically. These skills helped him become the kind of ghost hunter who relies on evidence and reason, not just emotions or stories. In the early 2000s, Steve joined the Atlantic Paranormal Society. His calm presence and methodical style made him stand out. Steve wasn't just a background investigator, he became one of the show's most trusted faces. Fans loved how he stayed cool in terrifying moments, never jumping to conclusions, always searching for real explanations before calling something paranormal. Over the years, he became a lead investigator and technical specialist, helping turn Ghost Hunters into one of the most successful paranormal TV shows of all time. After 11 incredible seasons, Ghost Hunters came to an end. Fans were heartbroken and curious. What would Steve do next? But he didn't step away from the paranormal world, not even for a second. Soon, Steve reunited with his old teammates Jason Hawes and Dave Tango to launch a new show called Ghost Nation. The series aired on the Travel Channel and later Discovery Plus, focusing on real families who believed their homes were haunted. Instead of just investigating, Steve and the team helped people understand and deal with the unknown. Even after years on TV, Steve continued to grow. He stepped into new roles. He became an author, a producer, a filmmaker, and a public speaker. In 2022, he released his book, A Life with Ghosts, where he opened up about his personal experiences, beliefs, and what he's learned from over 2 decades of investigating the paranormal. Readers got a rare glimpse into his world, not just the cameras and gadgets, but the emotional and spiritual side of ghost hunting. He also turned his passion for storytelling into filmmaking. Steve co-directed and produced the hit documentaries The House in Between and The House in Between 2, powerful true stories about a woman living in a haunted home. His eye for detail and authenticity made both films a success. Before that, he worked alongside Guillermo del Toro as a producer and paranormal consultant on The Captured Bird, a short horror film with a haunting atmosphere. Steve is more than just an investigator. He's also a passionate public speaker. He travels to conventions like GalaxyCon and Scarefest Weekend, where he meets fans, answers questions, and signs books. His warmth and humor make him a favorite at every event. And when he's not chasing ghosts or speaking to fans, Steve stays active with TAPS, helping manage investigations and mentoring the next generation of paranormal researchers. Outside the ghost world, Steve has plenty of other interests. He loves Broadway shows, Halloween, Disney, and classic horror films. Before TV fame, he was even a drummer in a death metal band, proof that his creativity has always had an edge. Despite all his achievements, Steve remains grounded. He still believes that paranormal investigation is about more than chasing ghosts. It's about helping people, exploring history, and understanding the unexplained with an open but honest mind. Amy Bruni, born in Sacramento, California, Amy Bruni grew up believing that ghosts existed. This belief didn't come from movies or scary stories. It came from her own life. When Amy was a child living with her family in Alameda, their home was said to be haunted. At just 6 years old, she experienced something strange and unexplainable for the first time. That moment left a deep mark on her and sparked the lifelong curiosity that would shape her future in the world of the paranormal. While other kids were watching cartoons, Amy was reading ghost stories and wondering what really happens after we die. By her 20s, her curiosity turned into action. In 2007, she started a small podcast where she shared her own experiences with the supernatural. The show caught the attention of Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson. They reached out to her through MySpace, invited her to join an investigation in California, and soon after, Amy became a full-time member of the hit series Ghost Hunters. On Ghost Hunters, Amy's calm personality and sharp instincts quickly made her a fan favorite. She worked on over 100 episodes, investigating haunted places all across the country. Whether it was a dark asylum, a historic mansion, or an abandoned ship, Amy faced every situation with bravery and empathy, never forgetting that behind every haunting, there was a human story. Her work eventually led her to move to Rhode Island, the home base of the show, where she settled down and built her life. But after 7 seasons of non-stop filming, late-night investigations, and endless travel, the excitement began to fade. In 2014, Amy made a tough decision. After years on the road, she decided to step away from Ghost Hunters. The official reason? She wanted to spend more time with her young daughter, Charlotte. Amy explained that the demanding schedule, constant flights, sleepless nights, and the pressure of filming had taken an emotional and financial toll. What once felt like a dream job had started to feel like an obligation. She and her close friend Adam Berry, who also appeared on the show, decided to leave together. They wanted to start something new, something that would let them investigate in their own way, with more heart and less Hollywood. Amy and Adam launched Kindred Spirits, a new paranormal show on the Travel Channel. This wasn't your typical ghost hunting series. Instead of chasing jump scares, Amy and Adam focused on helping families who believed their homes were haunted. They didn't just record strange sounds. They looked for emotional connections, personal histories, and closure. The show became a huge success, praised for its compassion and authenticity. As of 2023, Kindred Spirits had completed 7 seasons and even featured psychic chip coffee in special episodes. Amy also serves as the executive producer, giving her full creative control, something she never had before. Amy's work doesn't stop at television. She hosts a popular podcast called Haunted Road, where she shares stories from her travels and insights into famous haunted locations. The show has over 60 episodes and more than 10 million downloads worldwide. She also owns Strange Escapes, a travel company that takes guests on paranormal-themed adventures to haunted destinations, from eerie castles to ghost-filled hotels. And for those who can't travel, Amy created an online community called the Paranormal Circle, where members can join live investigations, question and answer sessions, and get exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Her live event series, Walking with Ghosts, allows fans to meet her in person as she shares stories, evidence, and lessons from her years of paranormal work. Amy's creativity doesn't stop at ghost stories. She's also an author. Her book, Life with the Afterlife, 13 Truths I Learned About Ghosts, became a USA Today bestseller. And in a fun twist, she even co-wrote a cookbook called Food to Die For, which features recipes inspired by haunted places and their history, blending her love of storytelling with her love of food. Today, Amy Bruni still lives in Newport, Rhode Island, with her partner Jimmy and their daughter Charlotte. When she's not filming, she's speaking at conventions like San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con, meeting fans who have followed her journey from the very beginning. She continues to explore the mysteries of the afterlife, not just to prove ghosts exist, but to understand what connects the living and the dead. Dave Tango. Most people first met Dave Tango on Ghost Hunters, where he became one of the show's most recognized investigators. With his sharp sense of humor and technical skills, Tango quickly became a fan favorite. When the original Ghost Hunters series ended its first run, many wondered if that was the last time we'd see him chasing shadows in dark hallways. But for Dave, that was just the beginning. He immediately reunited with his longtime friends Jason Hawes and Steve Gonsalves to create a new show called Ghost Nation. Airing on the Travel Channel, this series gave viewers a deeper look into the real work of paranormal investigation. Instead of just exploring haunted locations, the team focused on helping local ghost hunters who needed expert guidance with their toughest cases. Each episode showed a mix of teamwork, emotion, and the genuine desire to bring peace to those haunted by the unknown. Then, in 2021, Dave returned to where it all began, the Ghost Hunters revival on Discovery+. Fans were thrilled to see the original team back together, still chasing evidence and using the latest tools and techniques to uncover the truth behind paranormal activity. Dave continued to serve as both an investigator and an evidence analyst with the Atlantic Paranormal Society. His careful attention to detail and love for experimentation helped him stay at the cutting edge of ghost research. Outside of television, Tango has kept busy. He's been developing new ideas for TV content and is working on a book project that fans are eagerly waiting for. He often appears at conventions and virtual workshops with Steve Gonsalves, where they share behind-the-scenes stories, debunk myths, and talk about what really happens when the cameras stop rolling. But there's more to Dave than ghost hunting. In his free time, he enjoys photography, drawing, fitness, and creating electronic music. He's also a lifelong fan of magic and illusions, a hobby that actually helps him in investigations, sharpening his problem-solving skills and reminding him to always question what he sees. And of course, he's a gamer at heart, finding time to unwind with a good video game when he's not exploring haunted locations. Through it all, Dave Tango has remained one of the most down-to-earth and passionate investigators in the paranormal field. From a kid fascinated by mysteries to a respected expert and TV personality, his story proves that curiosity, when mixed with hard work and heart, can lead to something truly extraordinary. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.